Hey guys, welcome back to Crafty D Sculpting. My name's Danny and this week we're doing one that you guys wanted. We're doing a Rick and Morty. Yes, we're doing both of them together and we're going to be doing the portal scene. We've got some tentacles coming out of this one and I'm looking forward to showing you this one, guys. Done really well on this. My daughter is an absolute Rick and Morty nut. So as you can guess, she's already claimed this one. But anyway, guys, before we get into this, I would like to ask, if you are new here, please think about subscribing and you'll see plenty more. Always drop me a message down below on what you'd like to see me attempt to do. And if you haven't, please like the video because it will really help me out in the algorithm, get me shown a lot more and help me get to my 1,000 subs. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. And as always, we're going to be starting off with the armature. I've already pre-cut these bits of wire off camera. We're going to get some thinner floral wire and wind them around just to bind him together. There we go, we've done the bottom part. Now we're going to get the top part done and we're going to start shaping him out. Find his general shape how we like him, and then we're going to do Morty as well. So once we've got them, we're then going to figure out how to do the portal. Now I started off doing this with a wire first of all, and getting some tin foil and going over and just getting it all in place, scrunching it all up before adding some clay on there. Ta-da! I'm going to stick that in the oven and it's come out looking like wood. As you may have guessed, it fell over in the oven and we had to rethink our idea. So I've cut a piece of wood, screwed it in to the bottom of the base, and now we're going to go over with some liquid clay and get all that all squidged in. Once we've done that, we can re-add some more clay and hopefully this time it will stay in one piece. Once we've done that, we can then move on to our cos clay. We're going to start out just shaping out his body, getting his legs done first of all. Haven't bulked his body out at all because he is, well, both the characters are kind of skinny in this and we don't really need to bulk it out too much. But I am just going to keep adding bits of clay to find the right sort of thickness that we like. Just adding more and more clay until we've got it bulked out how we need. And once we've done his legs, we can then move on to his body. And then onto his arms. We've left one arm slightly longer than the other one, as you'll see why in a moment. But first of all, we're just going to get his belt band in place. And once that's done, we can add a buckle. If you haven't already, guys, please subscribe. It really does help me out. Just adding in the wrinkles in where his shirt's going to be. We don't have to do too much here, just carving in some indentations before adding his coat. Now we wanted to get this done as much as possible in one piece. Trimming off some of the excess in a moment. Once we've got all that done, we can add on the lapels of his jacket. Get all that squished in there we go. Starting to all come together now. Right, just going to cut off the bottom of his trousers so we can add some socks in. And all I'm going to do is, once I've got this cut off, just going to put a thinner bit of clay around and then just really work it into place. Just using whatever tools I've got to hand before adding in his shoe. Only have to do this once because his other leg's going to be coming out of the portal. Just generally shaping it up with, again, whatever tools I've got to hand, and the knife seems to come in handy there. Now off camera I made his portal gun, and as you can see earlier I said about the extra bit of wire. I've just bent that round so it holds the portal gun in place, and then we can work in a bit of clay around just to make his hand. Adding in his thumb, and then just finishing off the portal gun, adding in all the little bits and pieces. Right, once we've done that, I'm going to move on to the cuff of his jacket. Now I've just cut a very thin piece which I've put through the pasta machine. I'm going to put it loosely round one side, and then we can squish in the other side so it all works into his jacket. There we go. Now for his other hand, just cutting in a bit of a hole into a ball of clay. Going to work that into place and squish it all into his arm. Now we're going to do this one as a fist, so using various tools again just to shape out a fist before adding a thumb. I'm adding extra bits of clay just to bulk everything out as it should be. Right, onto his head. I've just got this little ball of aluminium foil. I'm just going to shape a bit of clay around it, take bits and pieces off of it, roll it around, shape it as much as we can until we get the desired shape. Now I've put a central line straight down the middle to find the centre of his head, and we're going to use a ball stylus now just to open up his mouth. Once that's all shaped out, just making sure it's all to the right proportion, marking out where his eyes are going to be, adding some teeth, now it's just to shape out the teeth. We've used this knife tool. And then we're going to add his eyes in. Now onto his monobrow. We do trim that down a little bit later on. So once that's done, we're going to put his head into place. Before moving on to his hair. Now for his hair, all I've done is made these little triangles, and we're just going to plop them in place as they need to be done. Now after we've got these in place, I've just taken some small sausages of clay and just worked them in between each of the triangles. And then I can start all squishing it all in, shaping it all out, as you can see here. Lastly on this one, we're just going to get his tongue into place before moving on to Morty, and we're just going to follow the exact same process that we've done with Rick. Starting off with his legs, of course, moving on to his body, getting his arms in, just bulking it up as we need, just finding that general shape as we did with Rick. Once we're happy with that, we can get him in place, get his foot on, and we can start with his t-shirt. Now just taken a sliver of clay, put it through the pasta machine, work that into place, and then we can start squishing it all into his body to get the bottom of his t-shirt. Once I've done that, I'm going to move on to his sleeves, following exactly the same process we did with the bottom of his t-shirt, cutting off the excess, and more squishing into place. Right, onto his hands, again just following the same process I've done with Rick. Balls of clay, just going to squish all that into his arms. Once we've got both of them done, we can get onto his fingers. Just little sausages of clay which I've just pulled out off, rolled out, and just working them into place before I can start adding little bits of clay just to finalise it, and then start shaping it with various tools again. Onto his head, exactly the same again. I've used a ball of aluminium, wrapped it up in the cos clay, and we're just going to start getting all the details into place with this ball stylus. Adding his eyes in and his tongue and his teeth. Once we've done that, we're going to work it into place before getting his hair in. Once we've done his hair, final part is getting the eyes done. Sorry, and his ears. Nearly forgot about them. Just all the final details, just working everything in, making sure it's all nice and how we want it before we can get him in the oven. But before we do that, we have to get the tentacles done. And what I've done is just got a bit of wire, shaped it out, and then wrapped a load of tin foil around it before wrapping it in some more cos clay. Now I've run out of the other stuff, so I've had to move on to the light beige. Just smoothing it all in, and then we've got these little balls of clay which we're going to put as the suckers. Now to add them on. Once we've added all them in, we're going to get the ball stylus again just to put the indentations in to make them look like the suckers. Once that's completed, we're going to get a drill. I'm going to drill into the actual portal. I'm going to add some liquid clay onto the base of the tentacle before whacking that into place. Just helps give it an extra bit of a bond when it goes in the oven. Now for this one, I did actually put a tiny little support underneath when it was in the oven, and then once he's come out, we've given it a base coat and we're going to move on to some colours. Getting some blue on for his jeans. Had to get my daughter to help me with the colours on this. As I've mentioned before, I am extremely colourblind and I find it very, very hard pinpointing the colours. So some of the basic colours I'm alright with, but to get some of the finer colours like in his t-shirt and stuff like that, and when I'm making colours up, I do actually need a bit of help. There we go, they're nearly finished. Once we've finished all the painting, but here they are guys, all nice and finished. As you can see, we've got the portal there with the tentacles coming out, chasing them down. Morty's absolutely looking scared for his life. Rick's a little bit more happy by the looks of it, but we've got the portal gun, as you can see over here, somewhere. There it is. Got the colour schemes all going. I had to get my daughter to help me with that one because I am colourblind and I do find it very difficult to try and pin down the colours. But yeah guys, what do you think? As I say, leave a comment below of what you'd like to see me do next. Hit that subscribe button please guys, and the like if this has helped you out in any way possible, and it does massively help me out. But anyway guys, again, let us know what you think, and I'll see you very, very soon on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.